everyone. Welcome back. This is our last lead generation series class for the month of February. I can't believe we are already 2 months through the year and we're wrapping up February and running into March. In case you were wondering, no, the March schedule is not yet finished. So if you have any suggestions for that, you can still throw them in the chat box or the comment section so we can get those onto future trainings. Our trainings will continue moving forward Mondays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. So we'll continue right along. But let's dive into today's session on lead generation. It's been a fun month of lead gen. I've enjoyed this series. I always like the series on lead generation because that's really the backbone of your business and how you keep having a consistent and stable real estate business. So as always with that, you should always have 5 different methods of lead generating activities. The first should always be your database. So again, we talked about that in the month of January. You can go back and rewatch those trainings if you missed them. Just go over to the YouTube channel, hit the 2025 lessons, and those will pull up. They rolled that in January. That's going to be in your databases where you're generating transactions from both the people in your database and the referrals from those in your database. Keep in mind that we should be aiming for a 12-to-1 ratio of every 12 people in our 12 contacts in our database that we are connected with, and having regular interactions, at least 30 per year, should lead to that 12-to-1 ratio of transactions to number of people in your database. The second thing that you should be doing to generate leads is that you should be generating leads from your listing. So you should actively be working to generate leads anytime you have a listing. Right? So again, my goal there is always to generate at least 3 additional leads per listing. And those are like viable, ready to do business in the next 3-month type leads is what I'm looking to do there. We did teach on that at the beginning of March with our lead gen overview. We had a bonus lesson on that one that dove into generating leads from listings. And then you're going to choose 3 additional methods. Okay. We've covered like 4 or 5 so far this month. So in addition to that, you're going to be, in addition to database and leads from listings, you're going to select 3 additional methods. Now, you're going to master one of those before you really truly move on to the next. And by master, I mean you're going to put systems and processes around it. You're going to be working that lead gen method so that it becomes a well-oiled machine that is producing results. We're still going to dabble in the other last 2 methods, but we want to perfect our database, perfect leads from listings, and then perfect that next method before really truly focusing on method number 4 and 5. Now, in addition to that, I want you to be tracking every action so that you know how much time and money you're spending on lead gen and what actions you're actually doing. So, right, so if my lead gen method is the database, I should be tracking the number of numbers dialed, number of text messages sent, number of emails sent, number of messages left. What are the responses that I'm getting? How many are answering the phones? How many of those answered phones are leading to appointments? How many are responding to text messages? How many are opening the emails? Right? So whatever that is, and you want to track how many transactions were the result. That way, about once per quarter or once every 12 weeks, you're going to be reviewing the tracking data and your stats, and you're going to make sure your efforts are paying off. Here, you may need to assess and pivot or change what it is that you're doing or change the method, right? So maybe you are realizing that you really aren't doing the actions needed to bring results. And that means you need to step up your game. Or if you are doing the actions, maybe you're consistently door knocking in your neighborhood every 12 or once a month, right? And it's not producing any results. Maybe we need to change the method at which we're delivering when we knock on those doors. So just a few things to do, but we do want to review it every 12 weeks. So now that I've reminded you of the goal, let's dive in. Today, we are diving into lead generating using business to business relationships. And honestly, this is probably one of my favorite methods long-term to develop as a lead gen method. I would prefer business to business over like open houses. I don't know. There's something about connecting with other business owners instead of connecting with strangers in open houses that brings me joy. But business to business are relationships that you create and maintain with business owners for the key purpose of generating referral leads from that business. Okay. These relationships should be mutually beneficial, meaning that you should be referring your database to them and they should be referring their database to you. Reciprocal. Now, keep in mind too that some business relationships may not be reciprocal in a traditional sense that we're expecting them to give us potential home buyers and sellers. For instance, with a lender, our reciprocal relationship might not mean that they're passing off leads to you, but it may mean that they are sitting at an open house with you twice a week on the weekends. Or it may mean that they're giving you access to something that they offer that's of value to your business. So reciprocal doesn't always mean, hey, I'm giving you business and you're giving me business back. It could be you're giving me something of value to my business. Okay. So there's that kind of relationship. Today, what we're talking about though is building business to business relationships with the intention that they're going to be referring business to us. Okay. So in addition to the expectation that they're referring business to us, we want to make sure that we're adding value to their business. Okay. We should be helping to promote their business. And in addition, we want to make sure that something else that might add value would be something like creating a list of trusted referral partners that not only gets them in front of your database, but it gives you something to give your database, right? So that you become the local go-to for all things that someone may need help with, not just to buy or sell a house, but hey, I need a handyman, or hey, who do you use for a vet, or what are the best restaurants for a date night, right? So just are some fun activities that I can do with kids, right? So you want to be the go-to person for all things local so that anytime somebody thinks of a need, they call you, because then when they think of a need when it comes to buying or selling, they're going to call you as well, as if somebody in their circle of influence is like, man, I'm thinking about selling my house, or I'm thinking about buying a house. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you have to call my agent. She is so amazing. She's got this list. She knows everything about the area. You have to reach out to her. Okay. So that's the goal here. So who can be your business referral partners? There's no limits. Could be hair salons, dentists, doctors, home service providers like contractors, plumbers, HVAC people, pet services, gyms, financial planners, insurance agents. So again, no one is off the table. I would recommend that you prioritize businesses that you already frequent. Okay, you already know and trust these businesses. You know they do a good job, and you're already giving them your business, right? And you're probably ultimately already referring them. So that's where I would recommend starting. In addition, you can expand to businesses that your clients often ask for recommendations for. So maybe you start with services that like a potential seller may need, people like stagers, contractors, handymen, remodel services, and then maybe move to focus in on buyer related businesses, right? Businesses a buyer may need to utilize, people like inspectors, insurance agents, cleaners, right? And then the other thing that you may want to consider would be new businesses opening their doors, right? They are hungry for business. They're wanting to get their name out there. So help those businesses grow by partnering with them. Okay. Now, next, I'm going to introduce to you a couple. Now we've kind of talked about like what to expect and who. Let's talk about the how, right? The script. So there's a couple of scripts that you can utilize for this purpose. The first one here is businesses that you already do business with, right? That's where I said I would start, is businesses that I do business with. So how this sounds is, hey, business owner, I'm Amy with Realty One Group Fox. I'm in the process of creating a list of preferred businesses and service providers to give to my clients. Since I frequently have clients ask me for a good groomer, right? I only want trusted companies to refer them to. Since I have had excellent service from you, would you and your business be interested in being included, right? Who's going to say no to that? No, I don't need more customers, right? Go find somebody else to do your business with if that's the case. Most people are going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. I would love to be on that list. Then you're going to say, great, I like to establish these professional referral partnerships to help grow each other's businesses as well. So if I were to refer clients to you, would you be willing to refer clients that are looking to buy or sell a home to me with the assurance that I'm going to provide them with a high level of customer service that you would expect? And they're gonna be like, yeah, that seems reasonable. Absolutely. You're going to refer people to me. I'm going to refer people to you. Excellent. How about we confirm each other's contact information so that we can get started? Pretty simple script, right? Now, the other thing that you can throw in there is if you have been growing your database and you know exactly how many people are in that database, then when you say, hey, I'm putting together a list and I get it in front of at least 300 people on a monthly basis. Right? Because now you're building that value of you're setting that stage of, oh my gosh, I could have 300 new customers, like 300 people that haven't heard of me in this area are now going to start hearing about me, right? Or part of my value is that I take this list to my farm and I've got 400 doors I knock on a monthly basis, and I'd like to get you in front of those people. Right? So build up that value. So again, this is one of the scripts that you can use with businesses you already have partnerships with. There's a secondary script here that you can utilize for businesses that you haven't done business with. And Avi will take this script and post it with the video so that you'll have access to these scripts. You can also screenshot it if you're watching the training, but we'll link it as part of the training. So the creating referral partnerships with business owners you have not done business with might sound something like this. Hey, business owner, I'm Amy with Realty One Group Fox, and I'm in the process of creating a list of preferred businesses and service providers to give to my clients. I have about 500 people in my database. Since I frequently have clients ask me for a good gym, I'm looking for a trusted company to refer them to. I've heard great things about your gym. Would you and your business be interested in being included on that list? If they're like, yes, absolutely, right? Again, who in their right mind is going to say no? Great. I like to establish these professional referral partnerships to help grow each other's businesses as well. So if I'm going to refer clients to you and put you in front of all the clients in my database, which I've got about 500 people in there right now, and it's always growing, would you be willing to refer clients that are looking to buy or sell a home to me with the assurance that I'm going to provide them with the high level of customer service that you would expect? And they'd be like, yeah, that sounds reasonable. Perfect. Excellent. How about we confirm each other's contact information so that we can get started? Right? Still simple here. We just tweak that first intro just a little bit because we're not saying that we've done business with them. We're saying we've heard great things about them. So just a little simple tweak as an introduction to this business to business relationship. Okay. Now, we want to make sure to set the expectation, right? So up front, we want to make sure to say, hey, here's the expectations. I'm going to refer my business to my database of 500 people, 200 people, 300 people. I'm going to go get you in front of 400 additional doors that I door knock on a monthly basis, right? And my expectation is that you're going to send me just one referral per year. Okay. Is that reasonable? I'm going to get you as many customers as I can get you. And what I want in return is just one customer per year that is looking to buy or sell a property. Does that sound reasonable? And they'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Right? We're setting that expectation. You're going to want to make sure that you add these businesses to your database and that you tag them appropriately, right? I would tag them B2B for business to business. Okay. In addition to putting them in my database, tagging them appropriately, we talked about how to tag your database in the month of January. You can go back and review that because outside of just B2B, there's several of those tags that you should assign to them. But we also want to put them on a 30 plus to connect plan, okay? Because we want to be interacting with them at least 30 times per year. But it's going to be a little different than your regular check-ins that we do with the rest of the people in our database that we're connected with. When we call our business to business partners or our B2B partners, we want to check in with them and see how business is going, right? Have they had many coupons come in? We'll talk about the coupons here in a minute. Let them know what steps have been done for you that you've been promoting their business, and ask if there is something that you can do for them to help them grow their business. Remember, we're partnership, so we want to help them grow their business because we want them to help us grow ours. So part of our quarterly check-in, where we're going to make those phone calls once per quarter, would be, how's business going? What can I do for you to help you grow your business? Right? And here's what I've been doing over the past 3 months to help you grow yours. Now, we also talked about in the database classes about the 555, where we're reaching out to them once per quarter. So for our business owners, that may look a little different too, right? Month one, we may call them and check in with them. Month two, when we have that social media interaction, it may mean that we are interacting with them on a personal level on social media, but then also going to their business on social media and sharing their business onto our pages, right? Something super cool that you can do there. We may share our referral list and tag all of our referral partners in there on our social media, right? So again, it may look a little different. When we go to text them the third month, right? Or send them something in the mail, we may be texting them and saying, hey, I'm just checking in to see how business is going for you. Right? We're taking a genuine interest in their business and figuring out how we can help them. If we've already texted them the month before, we know how business is going because they responded to us. Then when we dive in for that phone call the next month, it makes it a lot easier to say, hey, I know when we talked last month, you said business was booming. Is it still going real well for you? Right? Whatever that might be. Okay. So we want to make sure to add them to their database. As always, anytime we make that phone call on a quarterly basis, we want to know who wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. And when they refer somebody to us, we want to keep them updated on that referral, as well as we want to reward the behavior with a token of appreciation. Okay, so something fun, easy, small, just like we would for anybody else that refers business to us. All right. I would recommend that you have your business partners or those businesses on a vendor list. Okay, we told them we're creating a list. We're going to create the actual list, and I would make sure to put it on a platform that allows you to be able to access it and your clients to be able to access it and share it with people that need recommendations easily. I would recommend using a service like LiveEasy or Google Sheets. Okay, and that allows you to keep it updated and handy. Okay, the nice thing about services like LiveEasy, which we have access to through our Realty One group of services, or Google Sheets, is that we can constantly be updating that list and that spreadsheet. And clients with the link or access to it always have an updated list. So if we've removed somebody off because they've closed their doors or they stopped offering the level of service that we would expect from our referral partners, we can delete them off that list. And unlike a PDF list, it updates everybody right now. So somebody goes to click on that link to get that referral to a groomer, and the one who was doing bad business has now been removed and another one has replaced it, right? If they have a PDF list, they might be working off that same list for 4, 5, 6 years, which is a good thing that they've hung on to it that long, but bad in that we've updated it. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. I would use something that allows you to update it and people to get live updates. Okay, any questions so far? Okay. The other thing that you might want to consider is to create or join a business networking group. Okay, these are groups where business owners come together on a monthly basis. They usually have an educational portion to offer value to the business owners, as well as an expectation to share referrals within the members. Okay, if you can't find one to join, or you don't want to go through the effort of trying to track one down, you could start your own business networking group, right? And you can make it one of two ways. You can make it an open group where any business owners can come and go as they please, or you could create an exclusive group where you approve the members and you only allow one from each business type. So there's only one dentist and one doctor and one insurance provider and one handyman and one contractor, right? So we can create that kind of exclusive group. Most business networking groups are exclusive like that. They don't allow 5 realtors to join. They only allow one. Okay, so that's how most groups work, but you could choose to do it however you want, either an open group or an exclusive group. The thing that I would recommend though here is to be cautious of how many network marketers or multi-level marketers you allow join your group. The only reason I say that, I have nothing against network marketing, but there's a benefit to having a physical presence in the community in which you serve. And so you're going to get potentially more visibility to somebody's customers with a physical building or retail space or office space than you are with network marketers. And sometimes network marketers aren't super successful. And so they've only got, 3 people underneath them versus a network of 200 people or plus. So just be careful when it comes to network marketers. I have been to business networking groups where most of the members are network marketing people, and it just has a different feel to it. It's not the same type of business as like a brick and mortar type business. So just kind of keep that in mind. When you start your own group, you want to help facilitate those referrals between members. You want to make sure to bring in speakers to add value to the business owners that are part of that group, right? We want them to keep coming back because we offer value in education and value in referrals. On an exclusive group, you can set the expectations that members are to refer to another member at least once per month, or maybe you could set it up that they have to refer to each member in that group at least once per year to maintain that membership, right? So you can kick people out or bring new people in. So you can set that expectation of what that looks like. Okay, so you decide how to run that, but a network group is a great way to start networking with other business owners. Some ways to level up your relationship with these business owners, giving them additional exposure for their business, is to feature them in your newsletter, right? We've talked about when we interact with our database that we should be sending out a newsletter once a month to our entire database. In addition to that, if you're doing a farm or something else, you can be passing out that newsletter. If you're doing open houses, you can have that newsletter available as part of your open house, right? So super cool ways that you can use that newsletter, but focus or feature a business each month in that newsletter. Okay, you can also conduct social media highlights or live interviews. So when I was getting ready to do my newsletter, I might go to that business owner and schedule a live interview with them that I might do right there on the spot to like a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live as I'm recording that interview. Then I've got that interview that I can make reels and stories and different things out of throughout the month. I can cut it up into little pieces and continue to highlight that business as well as me as the person who interviewed them. I can take it and put it into my newsletter. So many things that you can do with that live interview. Okay, you might want to also include them in your marketing materials, right? So anything that we market, we can include them in. In fact, we could always ask our business owners if they would like to co-sponsor our marketing materials for the month. Maybe you have just sold or just listed postcards that you're getting ready to send out around a new listing. You can give that opportunity to your business to business marketers if they want to help co-sponsor, which means they're helping to cover the cost, right? They help cover the cost. Maybe you split the cost or whatever that would be. You do the design and then you feature a little snippet of that business as part of that marketing. Okay. In addition to that, you could offer co-sponsorships for your events. So we talked about events and seminars. I think it was maybe at the beginning of this week. Actually, it seems like it was so long ago, but we've talked about that and how you can bring in co-sponsorships. So if you're doing events and seminars, business to business might fit in really well with that because you could ask those businesses who wants to co-sponsors. They can actually help show up. They could provide beverages or refreshments. They go on all the material for that sponsorship. So just more ways to get the word out there and promote those businesses and offer value. Also, ask if you can put out some business cards in their business. Bring your own card holder and then make sure that you regularly check in with them in person. I would say at least quarterly, if not more often than that, to see if they need more business cards and remind them about that referral agreement. So a great opportunity to check in, get some face-to-face time with those business owners once a month or once every couple months. Okay. Some additional ways that you can continue to level up business to business referrals is work with the business owners to get special coupons, right? Or specials. and print them on business card sized material. Okay, I would feature the business on one side with whatever the special is that they're offering. And on the back, it would be your branding so that they have your information as well. And these cards you could hand out at open houses, you could mail out to your database, you could pass them out at your farm, right? The business card size makes it easy for somebody to stick it right into their wallet and hang on to it. And I would say even bigger bonus would be that instead of like a one-time coupon, right? That if the coupon's good for a whole month or a period of time, maybe like a quarter, right? So that's going to encourage them to hold on to it and keep it a little bit longer. So maybe, you know how, I don't know if you know or seen, but sometimes people come around try to sell you these discount cards where like $20 and you get discounts to these businesses or whatever. You could create a version of that that's free for your people. So like once per quarter, it changes up and maybe you feature like 12 businesses on that card and here's the specials that they get for the businesses on that card for that 12-week period. And then they hang on to that card. It might be like a punch where they can use it once, or during that entire 12-week period, they can present that card to the business every time for, you know, a free soda at a restaurant or 10% off their handyman bill or whatever it might be, right? $3 off a window cleaning, one free window with a window cleaning, right? Whatever it might be, the possibilities are endless. So you could do it for a single business or you could do it for a period of time with multiple businesses. Totally depends on how you want to do it. But our goal here is like, we want people to hold on to it with our information, and it gives us something to hand to people that gives them value. Okay. You can also include your referral partners in your client appreciation events. Okay. Invite them to your events and encourage them not only to show up, but to invite their customers. Like if we're doing a movie in a park, I'm just not inviting my customers and having them co-sponsored. I'm saying, hey, let's invite your customers too, because now everyone who RSVPs that is not already in my database, it's allowing me to grow my database with their customers. Okay. And just a reminder that anytime we lead generate with new people that we don't have connection with, we want to make sure to put them on that 12x1 plan where we're connecting with them 12 times a week for the first week. Then an 8x8 if they're still not responding to us, where we connect with them once a week for 8 weeks. And then we move them over to that 19 to connect. All the details on those plans were covered in the month of January. Okay. Another idea is to organize like community events featuring multiple local businesses, right? The sky here is the limit. So maybe you're doing something fun. I don't know. Let's think about a community event that we could do. Maybe we're doing a community trunk or treat event, right? We're using one of the businesses' parking lots. We're featuring multiple businesses. Everyone's bringing their trunk or treat. They're all inviting their friends. We're asking them to have them RSVP, right? Whatever that might be. But they're getting play because we're getting it out to everybody's customers. Okay. Sky is the limit. So just think about that, like community events, coming together with different business owners. Make sure that you're tracking your referrals here, and you're going to want to reward those top business partners. So maybe your top referral business partner for the last 6 months or for a year, maybe they get a free sponsorship place for that top referral partner for one of your events or your activities. Maybe your top referring business partner always gets featured on your newsletter for free, right? Whatever that would be. Or maybe at the end of the year, you do a drawing for all the people that have referred people to you where they get a weekend getaway, or maybe like a consultation with a zero-based tax professional or another professional that would benefit their business. So just some fun ways to keep it fun, keep that value add for people to continue to refer their customers that want to buy or sell a home. Okay. The other thing that you may want to do too is make sure to join and engage with local chamber of commerces and attend all the ribbon cutting ceremonies so that you can build relationships with those new business owners, right? Great way to get in the door with new business owners. We attend the ceremony, we celebrate with them, we meet them, we shake hands, and then we help to grow their business, in which they're going to be hungry to grow because they're new to the area. Okay. So there are some ways to work the B2B relationship how to set your expectations, how to work to grow value in that relationship. If this is a method of lead generation that you're going to choose to employ, here are some action steps that you might want to work in over the next week. Okay, I would start with, hey, this week, like identify 5 businesses to reach out to and use those scripts to reach out to them. Okay, then make sure you are practicing and committing to memory the referral scripts. Memorize the scripts. And you may want to personalize it a little bit, but I wouldn't make too many changes. It's pretty good just like it is, but maybe the rhythm or the tone doesn't quite sound like you. So you may want to tweak a couple words here or there. I would set up my digital vendor list so that it's set up and ready to go. So as I get new vendors and new businesses, I know what I'm going to use and I can add them to it. And then I want you to make sure that you build out your touch points for a business owner specific 30+ touch campaign with phone calls, emails, and networking opportunities. Okay. In addition, I would identify and build out your weekly rhythm. Okay, what day, if you're going to do like live interviews, what day are you going to do interviews? What system will you use to clean up and edit the interviews? How will you make little cuts to it for like reels and different things? What day of the week are you going to do those edits and do those creations? Where are you going to post or share that video? What day of the week will you call new partners to talk with them? When are you going to order new co-branded coupon cards? When are you going to visit to stock up business cards to businesses, right? Take time to map out all of the steps that you want to employ when it comes to B2B referrals. And let's map that out on our calendar for our next 12 months, or at least the next 2 months. Like sit down and figure out, what does that look like? What does my 30 touch plan look like? What does this week look like? How often do I want to do this? How am I going to get started? And you don't have to start with like interviewing a business a week. It may be that we start with like 1 per month, right? I'm always big on starting small and building it. So maybe you're like, okay, once a month. I can do once a month. Like if I do the first week of the month, I make some phone calls and set up who I'm going to record the next week. Then that next week, I do the live and the recording. And then week number 3, I do all the edits. And week number 4, I start pushing it out to everything. You're like, I can handle that. Perfect. Do that. Okay. Once you're consistent in that for 3 months or 6 months, then you're like, okay, now I've got the system down. I know what I'm doing. I've got this all in place. Then maybe the second 6 months or the next 3 months, you start doing one every 2 weeks. So we tighten up our schedule just a little bit. So we're doing one every 2 weeks until we get to a point where maybe we're doing one a week. Okay, these are going to be great videos too, that you're not going to be limited to just sharing them on your own page. As I mentioned previously, like where are you going to share those? We're highlighting local businesses, things that are going to serve the community. So that's a great thing to share to all of the community related groups that you can find out there on places like Facebook, right? Tag the businesses, tag the business owners, super cool. But take time this next week to map it all out if you're going to employ business to business relationships so that you have a plan in place, you're ready to go, and you can start executing those systems and processes. Make sure you put it in writing, map it out in writing so that you know what you're supposed to be doing. And then as you change it or tweak it, as you perfect and master this system, make sure that you update those systems and processes that are in writing. I promise you want them in writing, because when we start scaling up and doing more, we don't want to have to put too much thought and energy into it. We just want to say like, okay, it's Monday. Here's what I do on Monday for open houses. Here's what I do on Monday for business to business. Here's what I do on Monday for my database. Okay, we don't want to have to think about it. We just want our punch list of here's what I do every Monday for these 3 things. Okay. So I think business to business is a powerful and often underutilized tool in growing your real estate business. But by fostering strong relationships with local businesses, you can create a steady stream of referrals. You can provide additional value to your existing clients and those in your database, and you can position yourself as the go-to community expert. Are there any questions about B2B referrals? All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you're watching it on replay, you can feel free to throw your questions in the comments section below or reach out to me directly. And again, if you come up with any ideas for future trainings that you would like to see, let me know so that I can get those on the calendar, whether it be for March or a future month. And we will see you next week. We'll be back on Monday. I'm not exactly sure yet what will be covered, but it will be fun and give you something to grow your business with. So we will talk to you soon. Have a great day.